I figured after a couple years I would go ahead and make another review on this earthquake uh, impact, cordless impact. This is a battery powered impact by Earthquake from Harbor Freight Tools, and I'm going to tell you guys what I do with it. And when you hear what I do with it, you aren't going to believe that this thing still runs. What we use this tool for mostly, of course, I use it around the shop, around the house, also as a normal tool. But when we're on the road making money, what I do is I actually use this to break bolts. I use this thing right here. I got a rental car right here, and inside the rental car we got the batteries charging all the time. So I got the batteries inside right here. Here's the charger, and between sites we use it to break bolts. Now you might say, why do you use this to break bolts? Well, so I'm going to answer those questions real quick. Hopefully it answers all of them. We've tried a lot of different things, including there are red heads in the ground. These are 1/2 inch red heads. So we're using a 3/4 inch socket right here. And earlier today we had one with a 1 inch, so it was a 5/8 red head. And these red heads are not just regular red heads. A lot of them are bimetal red heads. In Florida, a lot of the places have spec for bimetal red heads. So if you try and just knock them over, like, you know, normally if you just take the nut off, which are usually rusted on, and so we have that problem. So if we try and loosen them up, a lot of times they just spin and you're not able to get them off. So the best option is to tighten them. So they're on a stand. So the stand that we have, we can't just get a cutoff wheel in there very easily. You end up burning up a lot of cutoff wheels to try and do it. And if you try and just knock it with a hammer, usually a red head, you can knock it this way and knock it that way and they break off. Well, these ones here, you can knock them back and forth about 15 times, those red heads, and you still don't break them. But guess what? This Harbor Freight Earthquake, okay, well, they say it's up to, I don't know, it's probably 600 foot-pounds actual, you know, in reality, but they say it's up to 1,200 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, this thing puts out some serious torque, okay? And on top of that, those of you guys who say Harbor Freight sells junk, these are their Pro Line sockets. Now, I've probably broke, I'm trying to calculate how many. It's not quite 1,000, but pretty darn close to 1,000 bolts with this machine, okay? 1,000 1/2 inch red heads I broke with this thing. Bimetal, a lot of them are bimetal, where they're just, those are super strong. You bend them back and forth 15 times to break them off. And but we use this because it's faster and easier than any other thing we've tried. We tried cutting with a cutoff wheel. We tried knocking them back and forth with a hammer. You know, when it's 100 degrees in Florida and you've got the humidity up that high, you don't want to be outside that long. You want it to happen as quickly as possible. So we use this tool, and it takes from 10 seconds to about as much as we've had one that took a minute and a half to break off. So and you know, we're breaking off, you know, sometimes 16, 18, 20 bolts in one location. So you can imagine at 100 degree heat, you just want to get out of that in that humidity. So anyway, does this tool hold up? Yes. You will not believe what this tool can do until you actually own one. Is it worth the 250 bucks? If you drop a coupon on it, you find a coupon. If you look on, if you go on your phone and you just put in Harbor Freight free, and you go on to this one like HBD, HBFD, DBQ or something like that. Okay, you go on your phone, you put on Google, and you'll find a little website, something like that. You go on there and you can look for a coupon specifically for this tool. You cannot use the 20% off to buy this, but you can find a specific coupon for this tool. A lot of times they're like $239 on a coupon. So keep that in mind. You go in there for $239, you cannot beat this equipment right here. This is top grade. This is just as good as DeWalt or any of the other big name brands, and a lot less expensive. So, and these sockets are, I mean, 600 bolts I've broken with this thing, and I have not broke that 3/4 inch socket right there. Most of them are 3/4 inch. They're 1/2 inch red heads. 3/4 inch socket. We just did a sight that had 1 inch. We were using a 1 inch socket. It broke those, and those were 5/8 redheads, breaking them right out of the ground just like nothing. Just pow. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to do any. I didn't have any towards the end of the day. In the middle of the day, we're just hauling ass. We got a lot of locations to do, and I don't have any real life showing you how this thing does. I have my other video that I made 2 years ago when we first got it. We are actually showing you breaking those bolts off, and it just does it and does it. We've been using it over and over and over. And I bought the warranty on this, and I never even had a chance to use it. I mean, the only thing that guys did is one of my guys used it and he dropped it and he cracked the battery itself, but the tool didn't break at all. The battery still worked, but we went ahead and bought another battery. So because, you know, when we're using it with that much vibration, when we're trying to break those bolts off, sometimes the battery starts to slip out and then it gets a little irritating. So we went ahead and bought a new battery. That's the only thing we've had to do to it. The charger still works fantastic. I mean, and it's a little hard on the charger when you only have a little 110 or 150 150 amp 150 watt, you know, system pulling, you know, charging that battery all the time. We have 2 batteries in there. Also, we're using the Bauer, so if you guys are interested in watching that, I'm going to tell you a review on the Bauer tools. We've had absolutely fantastic success with the Bauer tool, and we're still using those as well. And I would say either of those things are as good as any of the other brands. I do have other brands of tools that are better. It's supposed to be the better quality, and I haven't really noticed any difference in the longevity of the tools compared to these. So anyway, if you're thinking about buying one of these, man, don't think about it, just do it. They're worth every penny of it. And these sockets, these Proline, you know, these things, I don't even know if a snap-on would hold up as long as many of these as these things have. Breaking bolts every day, hundreds of them, haven't even broke that 3/4 inch yet. Talk to you next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.